As of today, an enhanced driving exam is in effect in Ukraine. It will be more difficult, harsher, and absolutely ruthless for the driver candidates. This isn't just a test, it's a final certification, one where there is simply no room for error, and every violation is recorded instantly. Therefore, the first segment begins with exactly such an exam. The student miscalculated his vehicle's dimensions and drifted slightly into the oncoming lane. A gross violation that endangers traffic safety. The examiner, in the form of an FPV drone, immediately stopped the vehicle and forced the applicant to abandon it. Unfortunately, the vehicle was slightly damaged after this, so the examiner had to incapacitate it just so it wouldn't obstruct others. Well, it is what it is. But what happened next? In his panic, our candidate forgot his exam blank. The one with his data and all the test information. We can't just keep it. That's against the Academy's rules. So, this blank was transferred to a heavy bomber in the form of small tubes. These tubes were subsequently distributed to everyone present at this exam site who were waiting their turn in the shelters. Unfortunately, nobody passed. They failed the attentiveness and concealment test. Therefore, everyone is being sent for a retake, and all their vehicles which they were using to move illegally around the campus territory have been confiscated, and sent to the eternal impound lot, such is the policy at this academy. You either learn perfectly or you are expelled. Stepping out to the restroom to cheat using a phone is probably the most common way to cheat the system on an exam. People don't even copy from classmates as often as they do from a phone. The last bastion of common sense here are the proctors who do not forgive such cheating. They spot these phone calls from a distance. Therefore, every one of these cheaters was punished according to their sins.
The examination board quickly registered the violation and conducted the incapacitation of the violator. Today, we have the most important subject, Tactical Concealment Lesson 101. And judging by the footage, our students have skipped all the lectures again. Look at this applicant. He thinks that if he crawls into a shallow hole or hides under two branches, the professor drone won't notice him. But the examiner sees everything. He sees the heat signature. He sees the movement. This is unsatisfactory. Who fails the concealment exam is immediately expelled. Their attempts to hide are just laughable, and the examination board doesn't give them a second chance. They are failing the simplest test of logic. The same applies to the lab work in vehicle camouflage, throwing a net over a truck that's sitting in the middle of a field. Seriously, the examiner gives an F for such negligence. This student has also failed the exam. But even students from another faculty are failing their tests. Here is the aeronautics exam. This enemy fixed-wing drone thought it was the smartest, but our examiner intercepted it mid-air. Flight certification failed. But the most difficult exam is, of course, extreme driving. This is where the students show everything they've got. They slam the gas trying to escape from the instructor. They maneuver hoping to fool the board. But the FPV drone, our chief examiner, is always faster. He catches up to the cadet and clearly records the failed exam. As you can see, this student couldn't handle the controls at high speed. He didn't just fail the test, he has been expelled from the academy permanently. Not a single slacker will get a diploma today. And now we will test the examiners themselves with a game similar to GeoGuessr, but much more high eights right now. The professors need to find all the items you see on the exam sheet above within 24 hours. Specifically, 2 motorcycles, 2 truant students, and 1 truck.
If all these targets are certified incapacitated by the deadline, then they have successfully passed the test. They can show how one should have studied to pass all exams this easily. And what if they don't make it in time? Well, Such a variant isn't even considered at the academy because these professors are true pros in their field. They don't fail. A knowledge assessment is a necessary part of quality education. It shows who actually studied and who didn't. So, let's just silently watch this precise, masterful work by our professors. Heat, heat. And now we move on to the heavy machinery faculty. The examiners are conducting a very serious test today. On the expulsion list were 2 IFBs, 1 tank, and 1 armored truck. They thought their armor was immunity from the exam, but the professors proved otherwise. Even a regular truck and an ATV, which tried to cut the line, were incapacitated. All students received a final fail. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.